We are not waiting for heroes. We are who we've been waiting for. And when the veils finally fall, may you remember you were never powerless. Some truths are whispered, some are buried, and some are remembered. We were never meant to live asleep, never meant to fear our own power, and never meant to forget who we are. They told humanity to look outward for salvation, while the greatest technology in existence was already within us. The mind, the soul, the human spirit. I am Earthsong, a voice for those who always felt there was more beyond the veil. This is not just another channel. This is a beacon, an awakening, a place where ancient knowledge, hidden truths, consciousness, human potential, and the mysteries of our reality collide. So grab your coffee, question everything, and remember who you are. Because disclosure is not just about what's out there. It's about what's awakening within us. Welcome to Deja Brew, waking you up to truth, one sip at a time.
Hi, everybody. Today I'm here with a great, wonderful friend of mine, Kelly Smith. That's right, guys. And today I'm going to interview her. She is a psychic and a medium, a spiritual blossom, Earthsong, Lovecraft, School of Thought, and a book author. Not just one book. What did you tell me a little bit ago? 9?
9.
Man, that is awesome, Kelly.
Uh,
How are you today?
I'm doing great, thank you. Things have been
Awesome.
going really well.
Awesome. Yeah. So today I'm gonna ask Kelly a few questions, that I'm interested in and that everybody else is probably interested in as well. Um uh Out of anybody, I'll put this out there. I've already tried this once, so hopefully this recording works. Out of any psychic I've ever met, Kelly's touched my heart, my soul. She's a wonderful person. She will take the time and explain things to you. And for those that are interested in psychics, you should definitely get in contact with Kelly or come onto her YouTube and check it out and message her. Because she, like I said, she's a wonderful person and she will explain things to you. She won't leave you on the edge hanging to where you're like, what, how does this work? Or, you know what I mean? But hey, Kelly, I
Hey, Ethan.
just got to brag about you,
I appreciate that so much. I really
gotta
do.
brag about you. You touched my heart, so you know what I mean. You're a wonderful person, and I'm just like hmm. So, how did
That means
you
a lot to
become?
me. Thank you.
Thank you. How did you become into the psychic, being a psychic, or learning about it? How did you become into it?
So I was born into it, born with my gifts, um, like the commercial, right? Maybe it's Maybelline, maybe she's born with it. I was born with it.
Mm.
My grandmother was known as a mountain healer, because
Ah,
she
cool.
came from the mountains.
Oh
And
wow.
in the mountains, they call it laying of hands. They lay their hands on people to heal them, right? But she
Hmm.
had what we call the gift. And
Okay.
several people in my family have the gift. They just
Hmm.
didn't really try to do anything with it the way that I have. But I was not only born psychic, I was also born with a remembrance of why I'm here.
Okay.
I'm like what you call a volunteer or a star child, right?
Okay.
And I knew that I was here to help with something that would become known as the Great Awakening.
Okay.
And throughout my young life, I didn't really even understand the full scope of what that meant, but I was telling my parents as soon as I could speak that I'm here for something that'll happen in my late 40s that will be called the Great Awakening. And they're like,
And,
"Oh,
and, and I
okay."
remember when we had a conversation, we were talking, and you were telling me that I was a star child as well, and that I'm
Mhm.
here for a reason, and
Yep.
that's the reason you're talking about right there.
Yes.
That's the reason you're talking about.
Yeah, because the Great
Very
Awakening
interesting.
is about showing those truths, uncovering those truths, and all of us are
Mhm.
truth seekers.
Yep.
And
Hmm.
ironically, a lot of us are those 80s kids, those Gen X kids.
Yeah.
Not that
Hmm.
there's not waves that are older than us, and there
Hmm.
are plenty of waves that are younger than us, but
Hmm.
we volunteered to be here, and our generation and older needed to be here now to be the catalyst, to be the foundation of this transition for human beings, right? Our collective consciousness and stuff, because we're the ones that'll kick ass and take names if
Hmm.
necessary. And
Hmm.
everybody after us are too passive,
Yep.
right?
Hmm.
I mean, we're like the last stand for that. So if we don't do it, nobody will.
You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. You're definitely right.
So it's
Hmm.
it's our job. And yeah, I was born psychic. I used to go around. My mother, I grew up Southern Baptist, so my mother would take us to church, and I would walk past someone in the hallway in the church or something, and feel their energy and be able to read their energy and scan their body, because I'm what you call a medical intuitive now,
Oh,
where I
wow.
can help people to heal.
Nice.
And I would say, like, this lady has something going on in her pancreas, or, that man's got something wrong in his leg, or whatever. My mother wasn't very comfortable with it, but she learned to just accept it, that she couldn't get me to shut up, and it was helping other people. So, she just let me do it because it's God's work. That's the way she would look at it. God's work, and
Nice.
and not that I'm saying it's not God's work, because like literally everybody can do what I do. We were
Yeah,
all we were all
yeah,
born with it.
yeah, and that's another thing. So what Kelly just said, we could all do this. It's because a lot of us don't know how to do it no more.
Right.
And back in the days, you read a lot, and when you kind of do research, it says how they destroyed a lot of people, witches, psychics,
Oh yeah.
anybody with abilities. They were
And
trying to get rid of them, so they couldn't teach that to us. And
yeah, and they burned the libraries.
learn from one another. Yeah, so it's now we have this, people that the new generation that they just things are fading, and it's like, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
and to have somebody out there like you that's telling and this is what you can do and teach people, because I know you teach people a lot of
I
stuff. I've
do.
seen things that you put out. That's
That's part of
amazing.
my mission. Yeah.
That's amazing, Kelly. And
Yeah.
bless your heart. That is just, you're a wonderful person, man. I'm telling you.
Thank you.
Because a lot of people won't, you reach out and they won't give you the time of day,
Yeah.
or you're watching, you're into psychic stuff and you're like, oh, it's interesting and da 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 da. And I want to
Mhm.
ask some questions.
Yeah.
Kelly's the one to reach out to. Kelly she's a wonderful person, like I said, and she'll let you guys know. She'll answer you back, and she's not rude, crude, mean, nothing.
Yeah.
And she'll make you feel good and comfortable. So comfortable you want to ask her, "Can I talk to you again?" Like me.
That's my mission when I talk to people, because I take it very seriously that we all have problems. We all have things that confuse us that we're not sure about. And we're not
Yep.
taught how to love ourselves. We're not taught clear boundaries. And we're damn sure not taught how to use discernment very well. And
Mm-hmm.
so when people come to me, I take that really seriously, that they need someone to help
Mm-hmm.
navigate through confusion, and where does discernment end and
Yep.
begin, and what should my clear boundaries be, or where should they be, and what does it look like to really love myself, because it's not a cliche word to say self-love.
Yeah.
It's
Mm-hmm.
very real. If you don't have love for yourself, then your self-esteem is low, your
Yeah.
confidence level is low, you sabotage good things in your life. And I want to help people to heal that and remove those barriers so that they can all
Mm-hmm.
truly enjoy life. That's very, very
Energy will
important
go
to me.
low, and then you become negative, and then when you become negative, it's hard to become back to positive, because it's like, all of
Yeah.
a sudden you're negative because you're down and out or miserable, and next thing you know, this starts happening. You're bumping into that, you're kicking this, you're
Mhm.
dropping that, you're like,
Yeah,
oh. Everything gets you, and it's so hard to come back out of that.
it is.
And I talk about that a lot, Kelly, because it's the fact of being positive. Good things happen. Not only good things will
Mhm.
happen in life, when you're positive, you're more spiritual. Will work better for you. I believe
Yeah,
your
because you
energy.
become magnetic for those good things. More of those
Mm-hmm.
good things start getting drawn to you, and you're like,
To
"Wow,
where
I
if you're
didn't even know
negative,
how
it's
that
like,
happened, but
yeah.
that's
Mm-hmm.
fantastic." Yeah.
Yep. Like I can't stand to be around anybody that's negative, and
Yeah,
I won't tell
it
them that, but
drains your
I want to.
energy.
Yeah, it just drains me out. I
Yeah,
won't even have, when I'm around too much negativity, I won't even have encounters like that.
right.
It's like, oh my
Because you
God,
got the
get
funk
away
on
from
you.
me.
All that funk is on you, and until you can get rid of
Yeah.
it and, like, sage
Mm-hmm.
yourself or cleanse yourself from the
Mm-hmm.
inside out, it's on you
Mm-hmm.
like stink.
Yeah, and it's like, oh my gosh, you just can't get rid of it. And
Yeah.
it's like, come on,
Yeah,
get
you gotta
back
be able to
out of
shake it
the
off.
shit. Hmm. And I think that's a big important thing in life, that
It is.
people, if they could control that better, life might be a little better for a lot of people, because
Yeah.
letting yourself get down and out like that, and then one thing turns to another, to another, to another,
Yeah.
it's not good for you. It's not good for your health. It's not
It's
good.
not.
Yeah, it causes stress, and that's
It
not good. And
and those cortisol levels make physical ailments come show up on you, or in
mhm,
you, It
Yeah.
manifests those things. And so, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I want to teach people how to reclaim control, real control, real sovereignty over
Yep.
your life in general,
Yep.
and
Mm-hmm.
to make those good choices and how to make those good choices, because
Negativity can
it's not
run
as
around you in a lot
simple.
of different ways. It could be your
Yeah.
husband is negative, and he just every day is negative, and it's just gonna bring you down till you get away from that. And
It,
it's a
yes.
bad thing to say. I'm not saying divorce the person, but you
Listen,
have to try to fix that because
I
otherwise,
honestly, in the past
mhm,
2 years, the majority of my clients are people who are ready to level up in their soul, and the person that they're with is not, and absolutely does not want to at all. And they do
mhm,
end up parting ways because there's
yeah,
just no way around that. It's
mhm.
very, very
I
hard.
think
And I'm even guilty of it. I tried to stay with I'm single now, but I tried to
mhm.
stay with my husband regardless of his own soul path.
Negative down and out stuff. Yeah,
And
that's
it's
a
just
hard
it's
thing to do.
so heavy. It's so
Oh
heavy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it's that other person in your life can bring you down.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't push that on me. I don't want that. I don't want to be around it. I don't want nothing to
Yep.
do with it. There's too much negativity already. The news, I
Yeah.
mean, negativity all over the place. And it's like, okay, I just don't want that.
Yeah, because even like
Positivity.
if you're doom
Mhm.
scrolling on Facebook or TikTok or whatever, and it's all just a bunch of drama and
Yeah.
chaos, that's going to drag you down too. So, like, if you don't
Mhm.
want those things on your news feed anymore, to make it lighter, you need to start clicking that little X and telling the
Uh-huh.
algorithm you don't want to see that shit,
Yeah,
to
I
change
tell a
the
lot of
energy.
people, yeah, I tell a lot of people, hey man, you gotta fix that because if you don't, I think a lot of people, Kelly, when you get older, you start to your body is not so I don't want to say young and dumb, but young but silly or whatever.
We're wiser.
Because when we're younger, yeah. Now that we're older, we're wiser, and I think that we tend to want things to be calmer and
Yeah,
enough of the stress bullshit and
yeah,
and then some people I think they're sensitive when they get older, their senses are get stronger.
yeah,
So and that's another thing. People start to understand, and like you said, they get wiser, and they're like, no more of this. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I just want to be happy, and people need to realize that life is too short.
yeah,
Your loved ones, could pass the next day, and you could be miserable as hell. To
yeah.
where that's what we should appreciate. We should
Mhm.
appreciate our loved ones, our friends and our loved ones, and that's what we have, and
Yeah,
that's our circle, and that's what makes us strong together. And why worry about a damn bill, a shut off, or you know what I
yeah,
mean? Big
yeah,
deal. You
yeah.
know
Just
what I'm
just
saying?
be present. Be present in the moment.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, and be happy because you don't know what day to day is going to bring. You don't.
right.
It could be the worstest thing could happen the next day, or we could go to war or whatever the hell in our own country. And
Mhm.
all these people, they sit down and out and miserable, and I'm thinking, why are you so down and out and miserable? You own a house. You you,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Do
yeah.
something. You know what I mean? Don't be so miserable. And
I
that.
tell people to try to name things that they're grateful for on a daily basis.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
when I tell people the list of things that I'm grateful for, a lot of people probably laugh and think it's ridiculous. But like I'm grateful for great toilet paper, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
Because I
yeah.
know what it's like to be poor and have to use that really paper thin, rough shit. And I
Mhm.
hate terrible toilet paper. So
Yeah. And being
that
grateful
is
is the
literally
thing
on my
too.
list every day. I'm
Mhm.
so grateful to have good
Yeah.
toilet paper. I'm so grateful to have
Mhm.
decent toothpaste,
Mhm.
because I was that kid in the 80s that I was the lock key kid, right? My mom had to work to pay the bills, single
Mhm.
family, single parent family, and she struggled. So a lot of times we couldn't afford very good things. I've had to
Yep.
brush my teeth with baking soda before, which is disgusting. That's a disgusting way to have to brush your teeth. So
Mm.
I'm super grateful for the simplest of things every single day, and
That's awesome.
things that other people take for granted, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm
Hmm.
looking at stuff in my present, in my now, to be grateful for every day.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
I'm truly blessed to have this life, and it's not
And
because,
that's how everybody should be, Kelly. You know, I'm
yeah,
grateful for meeting you and becoming friends with you. And like I said, it's you know, the food, the shelter, your roof over your head,
yeah,
everything. I mean, people don't think about that. They get in there and then they just that don't matter. And
they
it's
take
I'm
advantage of it.
depressed because of this, or
Yeah,
and it's like stop. You know what I
yeah,
mean? There's people like how Kelly's explaining that, you know, no toothpaste, no toilet paper, you know, growing up poor, whatever, and that's that'll make you, you know, that'll change you, man. When you get older, you're
yeah,
definitely gonna be grateful, man. You know,
definitely.
hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully.
But with
Hmm.
that being said, you know, my even in those days when we were super poor and we didn't have a lot, we still were grateful for what we did have. My mother taught
Hmm.
me that. You know, my mother taught me faith and how to stand firm on faith. And even though we had a varying opinion of what faith should look like,
Hmm.
because hers was more religious based and mine's deeply spiritually rooted, you know.
Hmm.
So we had a difference of opinion there, but she taught me true faith. She taught me how you are unwavered. And that's what we need in order to create the life that we want. We have to absolutely know that we deserve it, that we've
Yep.
earned it, and it's
Hmm.
going to be ours. And then we
Yep.
can literally manifest whatever we want. There is no
Hmm.
limit except the limit we put on ourselves. And that's what I teach to people. That's what a lot of my books are about.
Okay.
Some of my books are actually about my journey because I'm a lifelong experiencer.
Hmm.
I have seen
So you
13.
tell about your life throughout that journey of your life throughout the book as well in some of the books.
Yeah,
Okay.
my very first book is called A Star Child Speaks, a story that could only be told in fiction until now.
Hmm.
And it starts from birth to present day. It explains all of the different encounters that I had with different types of alien beings, including the custodians who were my teachers, my main teachers, um, and this blue guy named Zufu, who was a teacher and also the pilot of the craft that would bring my Pleiadian parents to visit me because I was extremely lonely as a child, as many star children will all say, but don't realize that we all feel the same. Uh,
Hmm.
I was very lonely. I was very isolated. I felt very um, different from everyone else around me my
Yeah.
entire life. You know, I was the absolute complete black sheep.
Hmm.
If I went to play in the park, I was playing alone. I didn't have friends. My
Okay.
friends
Yep.
were
Hmm.
frogs and
Hmm.
salamanders and the crawdads in the ditch. You know, those were my friends. Um,
So why do you think that was like that, Kelly? Now that you're older, do you think that because it was just because of your mission to be here to take everyone to the next level? You weren't actually. I mean, because you know, as a people, we sit and we try to think of what, why was this, why did this? Because I'm like the same thing you're saying. I was the same way.
but
The
look
same
how,
things you mentioned, and so now it makes me think: is that just because we're here for what we're doing now,
yes,
and that
because,
other stuff did not matter? We weren't here for that reason. We weren't here to
right.
have the mom and dad push us on the swings or the, you
No,
know, to where we were left more
we need,
lonely and by ourselves.
we needed to experience the loneliness. We needed to have the solitary experience in order to be more aware and more awake and notice, pay attention to what was going on around us. But
Mhm.
we needed to learn the human experience through
Okay.
a different lens so we could see where people truly do mess up and
Almost
why.
like setting yourself back, watching it like on
Yep,
TV.
yep,
Got you.
exactly.
Mhm.
So
Got you.
we had to really fully understand who these humans are in order to be able to help them the right way. And that doesn't make
Mhm.
us less human because we're in flesh and blood human form now. But our souls did not come from Earth. They may have had
Mhm.
past lives here, But when we came here as a volunteer, we actually came from some other dimensional level because we
Gotcha.
had already learned some lessons that others are
Hmm.
still in that what they call the reincarnation loop or cycle because they
Hmm.
haven't learned their lessons yet. Um,
Yeah.
and that's why my newest book is called um, The Zodiac Astrology as a Psychological Mirror because the zodiac, the astrology was not ever created to just tell us our future and be a fortune teller, right?
Mm.
It was actually put in place for us to understand what lessons we came here to learn, what gifts we brought with us to use and accentuate, and how to move forward after we integrate the two and find the balance in that sign. And
Mhm.
I mean, so my book is like a workbook basically, but it goes through and it breaks down each zodiac sign and tells exactly why they are the way they are, how to
Yeah.
correct the things they need to correct, and how to embrace their gifts and emphasize them in order to move forward in a happier, fuller life. And then also to learn the other 11 zodiac signs so that you can not only understand yourself, but better understand through human compassion other people and what makes them the way that they are. And
Hmm.
you can either give them some space and room to grow with compassion, or you can understand that you need to just walk away from this person because
Yeah, just
they're
I'm
in
miserable
this
every
level of
day. I
lesson
just
and
can't get
this shit's
positive no more.
yeah, this shit's not going
Uh-huh.
to happen in this lifetime.
I'll tell people in my life that are around me that all the time. I'm like, you got to stay positive. You got to stay positive, and then they're just like, look at me all
Some
funny. I'm like,
people are just
that's
not,
that negative.
yeah, some
I'm
people
like,
are just
oh.
not ready for that yet. They're just not.
Hmm.
And those will be the people that, have to come back and do a redo for that part of the lesson.
Too much negativity. I think if everybody was positive in the world, the world would be more positive. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Because it seems like when you're positive, good things happen as well.
Right.
Not just feeling it. Good things will happen.
Yep.
And I'm positive about this. I went and
Mhm.
played a raffle one night. I went to the bar with my family, and they're up there, and I'm drinking a Coke, and there's a raffle for a whole cooler full of liquor, and I buy a ticket, and I'm thinking I'm gonna win. And
Mhm.
then she says numbers, and I'm like, I won. Just playing with the guy next to me, and he
Mhm.
goes, "Let me see your ticket." And he looked at the ticket. He goes, "You did? You won?" I'm like, I had to look at that ticket again, but it's positive stuff. You know
Yep.
what I mean? And then I turned around and, you know, gave the kept the cooler, but I gave the liquor away pretty much. So, you know what I mean?
Right.
You take what you want because the cooler's a Coda Bear one. I'm keeping it,
Yep. Yep.
I'm like, oh, because I'm just I'm not a drinker. When I was younger, of course, we all mess around, but
Yeah.
when I got older, I thought, nah, 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 nah. And I still have
Yeah.
sisters that are alive that are older than me that drink, and I'm like, whoa, how do you do that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd be too afraid to even try that shit anymore. It's like,
Yeah. And the
mm-hmm.
older we get, the worse the hangovers are.
Yeah, yeah. Plus,
They
it can
really
change your mind frame. It can make you down and out, or
Yeah. Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean.
Because I mean
And
it's
like,
called spirits,
mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm,
Each
mm-hmm.
alcohol and every drug has its own spirit attached to it.
Yeah,
That's a fact.
yes, mhm. Yeah, yeah. I
That
believe
is a
that.
fact.
I believe that. I used to watch my dad. He would go get a case of beer and he'd start being the nicest guy in the world. We're going to make some steaks on the grill, all this. I'm like, yeah, yeah. Next thing you know, he got down to near the end of that case and turned total to a different person.
Yeah. Yep.
Yelling about my mother, yelling about me,
Yep.
yelling about everything. It was just like, oh my gosh, man, you're not happy, you're miserable, and I
Yep.
don't even want to be here no more.
Right.
You know, it's terrible. So when you started being able to read people and stuff, did that
Mhm.
trip you out at all? I mean, did it was like, wow, what's going on with me, or you just kind
No.
of just because you grew into it, it was just no big deal. You just went with
Yeah.
it, or
Yeah, I mean, I was 5 years old the first time I diagnosed someone,
okay,
and I just very matter of factly told the old elderly neighbor man that
Mhm.
his ticker wasn't doing so good and he better get that checked out. And 2 days later, he had a heart attack.
Oh,
And
wow.
he didn't die from it, you know,
Mhm.
but, and he and his wife adored me, you know,
Oh,
me and
yeah,
my
because you
brother.
knew what was good. You knew
Well, I mean,
something was up with you.
they adored us before that because we were literally the
Okay.
only children in the neighborhood. Everybody else was pretty
Okay.
much elderly, you know.
Okay.
My mother and father, when they moved us there to that house, when they bought that house,
So he adored you, and then afterward, he even
and then
double adored you
yeah, because
because
he's like, she's my
you
godsend,
warned him.
she's my little
Mhm.
angel, you know,
Yeah.
and that's what he would
Mhm.
call me, is his little angel. Um,
Aw.
yeah, I mean, he really greatly appreciated that because
Mhm.
he knew immediately what was going on when the heart
Mhm.
attack started. And so they were able to help him right away, you know, because he took action. And
Yep.
it was because of me saying something to him. So it was very normal and natural for me to do it. Um,
Mhm.
and I was even very comfortable with the fact that other people were shocked when they would learn that I was correct. I already
Mhm.
knew that that's how they were going to react because why wouldn't they? You know? So, and I just clearly understood that from a very young age that, you know, I'm going to tell Mrs. So and so that her pancreas has some problems and she's
It might have been easier because you grew up in it. You know what I mean? If your family, you know what I mean, was like that as well, you growing
well,
up in it, it's not so of a trip to where
I
you
don't
would trip out on yourself, maybe. I don't know.
yes and no because
Okay.
my grandmother was a mountain healer, but when she found Jesus and became a Nazarene, the Nazarenes taught her that that's the devil's work,
Okay.
that only Jesus can do those things, right?
Hmm.
So then when I came along, so she wasn't even a healer anymore when I was born. All I ever knew was a very strict Christian grandmother, but
Hmm.
I knew the stories of how she'd pulled third degree burns out of people and done different amazing things, right? Corrected a crooked child's feet once and made him walk straight. I mean, she did amazing, beautiful things. And
Wow.
so when I started showing that I had these abilities to heal people and to do these things too, not just diagnose them, my dad would say, she has that gift that your mom has. And my father, being who he was, he worked in some contract CIA kind of stuff. And so he understood the Monroe Institute and all those things, right?
Gotcha. Yep.
But my mom was just a country girl that was raised by a very Christian mother and a Native American father, right? Because that's my grandfather that was Native American. And so she didn't really know how to feel about my gifts, but she would tell me how grandma used to do those things, you know, and that she started going to church and the church said that, you know, we shouldn't be doing those things and stuff like that. And that's why it bothered her that I could do this. And I was doing it at church, right?
Yep.
This was her issue because she was kind of in between. Like, this is my kid doing this, but my mother says that, right? And I'm like, you know, little child, but saying, well, mommy, Jesus says that we can all do this though, that we can all do the same great works as him and more. So why would that be the devil's work? Right. And so it got through to her, but definitely not to my grandmother or the rest of my family because they, even though they had gifts, like I said, they didn't use them. If they did, it was behind closed doors because
Hmm.
they were afraid that people would label them as witches or, you know,
Gotcha.
whatever.
Yep.
Right.
Hmm.
Now,
Hmm.
as I got,
And back then, that wasn't such a good thing. It was
yeah, that was
people were
burn at the
more,
stake kind of
yeah,
stuff.
people were more against things like gay and all that. They were against it, like it was all a sin and this
Yep.
and that. To where nowadays it's more, oh, cool, you know, that's
Right. Right.
neat, and
Right. Right. So
it's more interesting.
so then as I got older, and I started doing a lot of research and learning things. Because even though I was having these experiences with aliens and cryptids and different things, I really needed to understand why and how. And, you know, like my scientific curiosity, I always wanted to know more. And so I started learning about all these religions and I started learning about all of these different, you know, what we call myths and mythological creatures and everything I could possibly find, right? And everywhere I looked, it was like, well, leprechauns sound a lot like aliens to me. And, you know, and all this other, like, there's so many connections here that seems more like this is an alien thing, not a god and not a leprechaun or whatever else you want to talk about. I feel like they're alien related. And so that was my opinion on it. And of course, the beings that were taking me never would confirm or deny. And I honestly can't even remember ever trying to ask them to delineate for me, because a lot of my training was not programming, right? They were very careful with the way that they taught me so that they didn't sway my belief system or my opinions of things. They only showed me fact-based stuff, like you can levitate this, go do it, right?
Yeah.
Or you can mind speak with that person over there, go do that, go practice that. And of course they showed me earth changes and stuff that were coming too, and that was the whole point of why we needed to awaken humanity to their full abilities before the earth changes happen, so that we can help to prevent them, because we are more powerful than we were ever told in our living history. And we really can do all the things that Jesus did and more. And I went on to prove that in my 30s, actually. But what I wanted to say first is that I started realizing when I would talk to my mom about aliens and stuff, she started telling me about these different experiences that she would have with UFOs. And that my grandfather, my Native American grandfather, even had many UFO sightings and experiences. And then I started becoming a researcher for MUFON and realized that this is a bloodline thing with UFOs and aliens, right? They follow bloodlines. And I'm like, that makes sense because they're following my bloodline. So now I want to know, why do they follow the bloodlines? And what bloodlines are they? And it has nothing to do with Rh negative or positive, like a lot of people think. It's actually about what's in your DNA.
Okay.
It's a real blood.
I thought about that myself, because I was like, what's going on? Why do I have this happening? But, my blood is O. So it's like, well,
and a lot of people think that's got something to do with it.
And I've seen stuff on what you're talking about, and I'm like, is this what's going on? I don't know.
So the O blood type is important, but it doesn't matter if it's plus or negative.
Okay.
That's the part that don't matter. And that's where the misinformation comes in, and they're trying to throw people off. It is the O blood type and A. It's O and A that they're looking for, or that usually has that DNA structure. The DNA that they're looking for is literally a bloodline that I have tracked from Native Americans, particularly the Cherokee, mainly, like specifically the 7 nations of the Cherokee.
Gotcha.
It also comes from Irish or Scottish lineage.
Yeah, so I have Irish and Lakota in me.
There are
and
also
whatever else. I guess my mom's mom was Italian a little. She was Italian, Irish. But then again, you got to think of the other side. So it's like my other grandma and grandpa, what were they? White people. I don't know.
So the Italians actually fit into this. A lot of Italians and even some Spanish fit into this next group that I'm going to talk about, called the Basque people. Basque, Basque. Okay. They're a small little cluster of people that were in between Italy and Spain. And they are the only group of people all the way up until the 1930s that kept living by the true way of Jesus. They were people of the way. That's what they called themselves. And either the Italian leader or the Spanish leader, I can't remember which, discovered them and went there to see what they're all about in the 30s, 1930s. And when they saw that they were still living the same way that I live today, where I do manifest things and I do control the weather and part the storm to keep people safe and things like that, they literally made an example of them by burning 80 people alive. 80 people in the 1930s were burned at the stake for heresy and witchcraft. Completely drown out this teaching, which is, see the turquoise book here behind me? This is my book about Jesus, the light, the truth, and the way. There's a reason that that's in our Bible, the light, the truth, and the way, because Jesus taught the way.
Gotcha.
He taught people how to multiply the bread. He taught them how to feed people from more than one piece of fish.
Mm-hmm.
by manifesting it. We
Mm-hmm.
are creator beings. This is in us because this is what our creator beings gave to us.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And he was here to specifically teach those people.
Yep. To
There's
come in and
actually there's
yep.
actually 4 different types of human alive today,
Okay.
and 3 at this point, 3 of them out of the 4 all come from this divine lineage. The red man, the white man, and the black man. I don't know where the yellow people fit in. I can't explain them.
People
I'm
somewhere.
sorry. I'm sorry for the yellow people. I can't explain
Yeah.
what's going on there. All I know is
Mhm.
that the red, the black, and the white is very important colors. The Masons hold red, white, and black very sacred. The
Yep.
Atlanteans built their bricks and their buildings with red, black, and white. The Templars use red, black, and white. There's a reason for this because it's
Mhm.
showing the Atlantean bloodline. And that's who
Gotcha.
all of us are. All of us starseeds, all of us volunteers are
Mm-hmm.
actually ancient Atlantean people who have
Mm-hmm.
volunteered to come back now to right the wrongs and make sure that the earth changes that are coming this time don't reset us in a negative way. We didn't do it right then. We're here to fix it this time.
Yep. And hopefully it gets fixed. You know what I mean?
It
Hopefully
will.
it gets fixed because
It will.
way too much negativity and that negative brings bad shit.
Yes,
It's not
but it's
uh
it's mainly about learning who you really are and what you can truly do. And I can
mhm.
tell you that before I did an interview yesterday, we had a severe thunderstorm hit
Okay.
us all of a sudden at once, minutes before my interview was supposed to start.
Oh man.
My 10 my 10-year-old child, no, this we don't sweat this stuff, okay?
Mhm.
My 10-year-old parted the storm on his own, split it
Oh,
down the
that
middle, sent it in 2 directions. It dissipated, and no one was affected by this thunderstorm. He
is
did it
nice.
because he wanted mom's interview to go well. Right. So
Mhm.
he had a single focus. When I do it, and I taught them to do this, when I do it, I'm doing it to help everyone in the area to keep them safe.
Gotcha.
You know,
Gotcha.
it's not for my own personal gain, it's to protect
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah, around
Um,
you. Yeah, everyone. Hmm.
Yes, and my Native American grandfather taught me how to do that. Now, he would do it the old school way and physically take a kitchen knife outside in the rain and yell, "Part the storm," and stab it into the earth in the direction that the storm was coming from. And
Hmm.
that's how he would part a storm. I do it in the
Right.
house, in my mind. I still yell out
Mhm.
loud, "Part the storm," but it's a
Mhm.
metaphysical knife and a metaphysical soil that I'm
In your
stabbing,
mind,
right?
doing it.
In
Yeah,
my
you're
mind,
still
because I'm
doing it in
not
your
going
mind.
out in the
Yeah.
damn electric storm and get
Hmm.
and get
I thought Kelly said to do this.
yeah. I have an aunt.
Hey, I'll be coming back going. Now your energy's high, man. Good deal.
I have an aunt that literally got struck by lightning twice
Mm.
in the same place, twice, 2 years
Oh
apart.
my god.
She was struck by lightning, split her wide open down her side. It was
Oh
it was
man.
horrible. So I'm like,
Oh
"Mm-mm, I ain't going out like grandpa does. I'll stay in the house where it's
yeah.
safe and I'll do it from
Mhm.
in here." And it
Yeah. The
works just
storm.
as good.
Make sure the storm don't fight back.
Yeah, it works just as good. Of course, she wasn't parting a
Man.
storm. She was taking laundry off the clothesline. But
Yeah.
and that might have been the difference. Yeah.
Oh
Um,
man.
but we really can control the weather.
Hmm.
We really can put a shield around the planet. We really
Yeah.
can stabilize our Earth's
Yep.
poles. I'm a
Hmm.
grid worker, and a lot of people
Hmm.
don't know this about me. I'm a
Okay.
member of what's called the Emerald Order of Melchizedek, and this is
Okay.
grid workers. We work with the grid, the ley lines of the Earth, the dipoles of the Earth, the
What do you do?
core.
Like,
We stabilize
what do
the
you?
core.
Is it a group of people that?
No,
I don't. I never heard of it.
so when you're first it's similar to being a Templar,
Okay.
except you're learning. protection things. You're learning different kinds of shields. You learn how to activate your 144 fire codes. You learn how to bring all of your double helix DNA online, because we only use 2
Yep.
strands of our DNA. 97% of human DNA is dormant. They call it junk DNA. But I actually teach people how to activate it, turn it back
How to
on.
activate it.
Mm. Yeah.
You
And
got any
so
classes going on right now, Kelly? Because I know you do
all the
classes
time.
all the time.
They're there all the time. I have it set up to where people
Do
can
you
take a
post about it in the Facebook so people can see
sometimes
it,
I do. I don't like
or do you say anything on your website? Do you have or something where you
there
mention about the
every bit
classes?
of it is on the website.
Okay,
Now
cool.
here lately I have been loosely advertising that I have a 21-day activation program that's like a workbook. It's
Okay.
a work at your own pace kind of workbook, because a lot of people are busy. They don't have time to actually sit down and do a class with me. So
Hmm.
I have programs that you
Okay.
can just
And
download the PDF.
you also teach remote viewing as well, don't you?
I do. I teach remote
Oh,
viewing, and I
I
have a
so wanted to try that, but I was nervous. I was scared. I'm like,
it's so
man.
easy. It's so easy,
I thought
Ethan.
if I watched one guy, so when I first heard about remote viewing, I thought, oh, this is bullshit, man. You guys are, why would you even say something like that, man? I watch the show all the time, and now the guy all of a sudden talks about the remote viewing, and I'm like, oh man. Well, he did not explain it right. To that's as me watching it, I just didn't accept it. Well, I
Yeah.
watched a guy was probably about 4 months before you mentioned it. And this guy claimed that they worked for the government doing different, they would have the government would have them do different remote viewings. And I forgot the guy's name, but I watched his show and he started talking about remote viewing certain areas. And then he would mention the creatures that he was seeing, and I was like, this guy is not bullshitting because I have pictures of that kind of creature. I was like amazed. And I'm like, no way. And so I watched it, and this guy changed my whole mind about it. And so I
Hmm.
thought, wow. And then he would say, sometimes it's not good to remote view certain areas because if there's a creature there, it can follow you back and come back a couple days later to your house, whatever. And I'm like, really? And that's what made me nervous about learning. I was
Yeah,
like,
I mean, there's a hijacker effect that's very real if you
okay,
don't know how to protect yourself and shield yourself. And
okay.
there
So
are
you said
certainly
shield
some
yourself.
places that when you remote view them, you're going to know that somebody else knows that you're damn there. And if
Okay.
you're not prepared for them to know that, then you need to leave. And that's a very
Mm-hmm.
real thing. I
Because I'm
actually,
still, next time you teach that, let me know again. Because I'm just like,
so you should watch
ooh,
my Sunday show called Beyond the
okay,
Veil, because
okay,
on that show, 4 of my students, ranging in ages from 11 years old to 60 something, I won't say her age,
okay,
but are on the show, and I give them a target every
okay.
week, and we remote view the target. And typically, now that I've got them more acclimated with it, I don't do remote viewing. I let them do the remote viewing, and I actually find things to corroborate what they see and what they show when we do the show.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have different stuff pulled up that, if they see this, if they see that, it's there, and I can show them in the audience. And the point of the show, the reason I created it, was not only for them to have a show to do with me, but for them to showcase what they've learned from me and how they're still learning, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're still
Mm-hmm.
learning to trust
Wow.
themselves and trust what they get. But it shows the
Mm,
audience just how damn easy this really is,
okay.
and gives them a little courage and a little empowerment just through
I thought it would be
watching us.
hard. I thought, how do you do this? How is this? You know what I mean? How do you do this? What do you got to do?
And so they talk
Like
about
you're
that.
calm breathing, and almost it's like, what do so
My
it's like
my
makes you
group
wonder.
my group talks about that. They talk about how
Okay.
they tried somebody else's method, like
Okay.
Missy, my cousin Missy is part of it. Like, say somebody says, well, I tried to do it the way Missy does, but that just doesn't work for me. And that it's
Okay.
because it's not a one shoe fits all to learn how to remote view.
Okay.
It's whatever is going to be your easiest path of least resistance, right? Just like
Okay.
lightning. What is your
Gotcha.
path of least resistance? Sometimes
Mm,
people need to be busy working or mowing the yard or, driving in their car down a country road listening to the radio, and it'll come to them because they're just
mhm.
focused on the target, right?
Yep.
There's no
Mhm.
research allowed. They can't do any research. They
Mhm.
just
Yeah,
know
they
the
go right to
target.
the target and that's it, and bam, and tell you what they
Yep.
see and what they experience. And
Yep.
wow, that's too wild.
And
I
it's
really want to
really,
try it, but I'm like scared. I'm like, because
well,
all I
you
mess
gotta,
with is the creatures. I'm like, first thing I'm going to do is remote view back to Solomon Island. I'm
well,
not
it's a
kidding
pretty
you,
cool,
man.
it's a
I'm like,
pretty cool
ooh,
class. Because in the class, I also teach you how, not only how to bilocate to remote view, I'm also teaching you how to sense for other energy that's there, how to
okay,
shield from it while you're there to protect yourself. Like,
nice,
go
nice.
incognito,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Go under the
And
radar.
teach you
So
what you
that,
need to know, not just
yes,
how to do it, what you
yeah,
need to know about it.
yes. Because, like, actually, some of the places that we've remote viewed just for the show accidentally ended up being a military establishment with UFO activity and alien activity going on, trade,
Mm-hmm.
human trade and stuff
Yeah, with
that
the
we didn't even
aliens.
know we were going to be seeing there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for
Mm-hmm.
example, one time I wanted to see if there really was anything to um, this rumor of a black pyramid in Alaska,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we
Mm-hmm.
remote view. I found out where they claim that is, right, the
Okay.
location, and I gave
Mm-hmm.
my team a target location with that coordinate without them knowing it had anything to do with this alleged black pyramid,
To
right?
see what they'd come back and tell you. Yeah.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and they actually saw the black pyramid. They saw this big military base underneath of it, that it was heavily protected by aliens, like all this different and I'm just like, "Oh, fuck." I hope we don't get in trouble for that shit, right? I was like, "God."
Oh, everybody watching this, you got if you're interested in this, you gotta hit on her website, contact Kelly, ask her when she's gonna start her next class. She has classes on a lot of different things, guys. Very interesting. Very interesting,
Actually,
Kelly.
thank you. Actually, the classes that I offer now are set up by appointment per each individual client. I don't do group classes anymore.
Oh, so it's one-on-one
It's
then.
one-on-one, and that
That's even
way,
better for people.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that way it's tailored to their schedule because everybody's got a different schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of my class stuff, people would end up having to miss, because something came up or they would have to work or whatever. And I didn't want that for anyone because if you're going to spend money and invest your money and your time in what I have to teach you, I want you to be able to really learn it. I want you to be there for it.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's one on one and you need to change next week's Tuesday's class day to Wednesday at 3, if I've got that day open, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, and it works better for people like that because if it's a
Yeah.
group and that person can't make it, if it's one-on-one, then they can reschedule,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Makes it
Hmm.
more easy. And then for the people that don't want to have to interact with me, even though I'm
Hmm.
quite
Plus,
charming.
plus one-on plus one-on-one is better because it's like I was having a hard time when I was in, like, I think it was first grade or second grade, and
Yeah, it's
they'd
like
have a
having a
tutor
tutor.
come in.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
and
having
the
a
tutor
tutor.
would actually
Yeah.
take the time and show me, which the teacher I wasn't getting nothing off of. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? To where the tutor I was one-on-one, I was getting it. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's more.
That's
Hmm.
actually, I'm glad you brought that up because that's
It's the truth.
probably why I'm such a good teacher now is because a part
Hmm.
of my journey with all
Hmm.
of all of my different things. I have 7 children and
Hmm.
I homeschooled my children and all kids learn differently. So
Hmm.
I literally had to be an independent tutor for every single child and tailor the way that I would approach teaching that child
You know
completely
what
different
degree of
to the
that
way I
child?
would teach another one
Hmm.
to really be able to reach them and make sure that they were
Hmm.
getting the lesson.
Hmm.
And I'm
It's a
proud.
good thing though too, Kelly, because the fact that when you get popular with what you're doing, like you are, a lot of people just turn cold. So it's like, oh, I have a class fucking. There's 20 people, get involved in that. They're not taking the time for the one-on-one like you. The
Yeah.
one-on-one that is actually way more better. I mean, once you build up more clients, I mean, that's got to be hard with your schedule of your family as well, you know, with them having to schedule an appointment. But
Yeah.
you know, having a lot of clients, it's oh, you know what I mean. But the more you
Yeah.
build up, maybe you'd get more like, oh no, we got to do 30 in a class. I don't know.
I'm actually getting better at juggling all of that. It was
Mhm.
a little bit overwhelming for a while when I first started
Gotcha,
doing one-on-ones. Because I do homeschool. I still have a 10 and an 11-year-old at home.
gotcha.
You know,
Yep.
all of the other ones are grown now, but I still have
Mhm.
them and they homeschool. And then I
Mhm.
also work for Spiritual Blossom during the day as an online psychic. So,
Nice.
and I don't want to give that job up because I really love that job. I really
I thought
love
I seen you on TV before.
I really love being a psychic. I really, really do. I mean, it's
That's
such
awesome.
a blessing to be able to offer that kind of service that not very many people can offer, you know?
Do you teach any classes about trying to be psychic for people
I
that want to
do.
be like you, or you
Oh,
do?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because my whole
Okay.
mission is that I want to give you back your power. So
Yeah.
if you need something
Everything you can
healed,
help with.
let's
Yeah.
say you've got an ailment and you want something healed. I am more than happy to heal you, but I also want to give you the tools to know how to maintain that for yourself so that you don't have to come
Gotcha.
back and pay me again to do it again because some
Gotcha.
stuff went awry, right?
Gotcha.
And
So you
and a
want to
lot of
teach
that is
it as
about how we
well.
feel
So
about ourselves, how we think about ourselves. A lot of it's thought, programming stuff that we got to get rid of, you know, negative thought
mhm.
about ourselves. And
Yeah.
once we flush that out, then we can maintain that balance of health that we want.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because I don't want to be a band-aid, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I damn sure don't want to look like some messiah. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
say that loosely either because I literally have raised the dead. And
Mm-hmm.
so I don't ever want to look like a messiah because I can do that. Because you can do that
Mm-hmm.
too, Ethan.
Yeah.
We can
Mm-hmm.
all do that. The only
Mm-hmm.
difference between me and somebody else is that I had zero doubt, just like God told me to
Mm-hmm.
have, to make it work. I brought my
Gotcha.
10-year-old oldest daughter when she was 10. I brought her back to life with witnesses. It's documented. This is
Amazing.
actually a medical documented event. And
Oh.
I literally heard God's voice say to me very loudly, "You know exactly what to do," but with zero doubt. And I knew what that meant. I knew what that meant. That meant I had to stand firmly in the faith that this is something I am capable of doing. So
Mm-hmm.
I know that we can do this. And I don't look at myself as a messiah, and I don't want anybody else to look at me as a messiah. We are not here, any of us. We are not here to create a new religion. We are here to break down the walls of the false religions, the false teachings, and learn again, wake up again to who we really are. And we all
Mm-hmm.
have this power.
Love it.
Yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
want that for everybody. You know,
Yes.
I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
be the best psychic in the world, and that's how people know me. I want people
Mm-hmm.
to know me as the best damn teacher in the world because now I can do what she does. That's what I want them to say about me. That's going to be my
Mm-hmm.
legacy. I'm going to help free
Mm-hmm.
the people.
Yes. Power to the people.
Yeah,
Heck yeah.
that's what I want. I want us to be free, by God. Gen X in me.
Yeah. Hmm. That's what I want. I want to be free too. I'm tired
Yeah.
of I got so addicted to damn high energy. I'm telling you, man. I wear that thing all the time, jack myself up. I've showed you
Oh, your
before.
little electric thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I try to fight that with the negative shit. That's hard to do. I'm
Yeah.
like, I have to wear that for an hour. Everything's been negative. What the hell, man? You
Well,
know?
you gotta learn to do that on the inside. That's what I teach people.
Hmm. Hmm.
How to
That's what
get
I was getting.
how
That's
to
another thing I was getting from
ground your
you.
copper
When
wire.
when check it out. So when Kelly uh helps somebody, this is what I was thinking when she was talking, that she probably gets a nice energy buzz off that when you know it works yourself and that person's like, oh my god, you really helped me, Kelly, blah 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 blah. it probably boosts you and makes you feel better and builds that energy as well. Maybe, I'm assuming. I don't know.
Well, I mean, not that it isn't
Or puts you in a
something.
positive, more of a positive way. Because I mean, you got to think about this. You got, say, 4 people reached out today and were like, "Oh my God, Kelly, man, da, 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 thank you so much, man," da, 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 da. And it makes you feel good about yourself, bringing up that positivity. Does it help with that at all, or
So, I mean, I understand what you're asking, but honestly, for
okay,
me, it's more that I feel good for them
okay,
because that's my true mission is to
okay,
really make people feel good about themselves and feel
okay,
empowered. And so when I know that they get it, it's almost like a mom knowing that their kid can finally ride the bike without the training wheels and not hurt themselves, right?
okay.
That's how
Hmm.
that's it's a relief for me.
It's a relief.
That's the
Okay,
kind of feel good I get. It's like
okay,
they got it, right?
okay.
Thank God they
Hmm.
got it. That's how
Nice.
I feel about it. So for me, it's that I'm really happy for them. That I know
Okay.
I did my job well and that they did their part of it too, because it's a two-way street when you learn, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to have
Yeah.
a great teacher, but you have to have
Hmm.
a willing student also.
Yes. Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so some of them, when they show up, I'm like, okay, they're probably not that willing, but I'm still going to teach them everything. I'm not going to treat it any different.
Hmm.
And some of them proved me wrong. And most of them proved me right. And they weren't
Hmm.
really that into it,
Hmm.
because you can
Hmm.
tell. I mean, I'm an energy reader, so I can already tell
Oh
coming
yeah.
in.
Hmm.
I can
Hmm.
tell when they come in. Is their
Hmm.
heart really in it? Is their ego in it? Like, what are they in it for? Right.
Yeah.
And I don't
Hmm.
judge. I mean, I'm not judging. If they want to learn it for their ego, they're honestly only going to go so far anyway. So I'm not
Gotcha.
worried that what I teach them is some secret that needs to be hidden in the Templars' temples or
Like
whatever,
they wanted.
like
You
they
know what
did
I
for a while. Well, but they did that for a
mean?
reason because they were
Hmm.
protecting Jesus's artifacts, his bloodline, and his true
Hmm. Hmm.
teachings. And they
Yeah.
knew that they had to keep it under wraps to keep it from being destroyed completely by the
Hmm.
Roman Church. The Romans did this. All roads lead back to Rome, in my opinion. But because they murdered him, and then they capitalized on what he was teaching and called in his flock to them. So
Hmm.
it was a mass conspiracy, in my opinion. Um, but Jesus was not here to make a religion. He threw over tabernacle tables. He said, I came here with a mighty sword. He was a rebel. He was the original OG of Gen X, right? And we need to fully honor that, and we need
Hmm.
to step up and be OG Gen X again too.
Yeah,
You know,
you're right. Yes.
enough
Yes.
is enough. Let's get rid of the
Enough.
dumb shit.
Enough.
Let's use our
Yeah, the
logical
dumb.
brain.
Exactly.
You know,
Hmm.
enough of it.
Hmm.
And there's a lot
Hmm.
of ignorant in the world right now. But
Too much, man. They're
yeah,
dumping Kool-Aid in our aquarium, in the air. It's like, come on, man. It's fucking too much of
yeah,
that shit. It's
yeah.
like, man, people ask me a lot of times, how do you just get rid of all that miserable shit? I say, well, I'm at home. That's my home, my playground, my, everything right there. I block myself in and forget about the rest of the world bullshit. I mean, because there's really
Yeah.
nothing you can do. You try to help people and you try to say things, but to change our government and the way things are going down like that, it's like one person. I mean, but
Well,
as if it's all separated, I guess it does a dent in there, but
I
sometimes it's
have.
very fucking frustrating and
It
hard.
is. It is. But I still have faith in humanity that
Mhm.
things are going to be corrected and wrongs are being righted now,
Mhm.
and it's all going to work out. And that's not where we need to have our focus.
Yeah.
I feel
Hmm.
like our focus should be looking inward and working on
Hmm.
ourselves and
Yep.
healing all of those childhood traumas or past
Hmm.
life traumas or whatever trauma we've carried with us right now.
Hmm.
Heal those things, get rid of that stuff, learn how to really open up, tune in, tap in, and be more than you already are.
Yeah. That
And
you were taught or kept from.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. And it's not, I always say this is not about becoming someone else. This is about remembering who we are.
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yep.
at our
Mm-hmm.
core, who we were
Yep.
in our birthright born to be. But
Yes.
the powers that be had tried to sabotage that. And part
Mm-hmm.
of this great awakening is realizing that sabotage and getting rid of the old guard and ushering
Yeah.
in a new way of life. But at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, this is not some new age theory kind of bullshit. I'm not kumbaya, right?
Yeah.
I don't do
Yeah.
kumbaya. I don't do
Mm-hmm.
rainbows and fluffy bunny tails. Hell with
Mm-hmm.
that. Like, I'm realistic. I'm a realist.
Mm-hmm.
I stay grounded in science, and I have found science to back up and prove what I teach and what I say that we can do.
Yep.
And this is about going back to our roots and remembering the old ways, the ways that the Native Americans lived, the ways that the Atlanteans lived, the Phoenicians, the Greeks, the Egyptians, you know,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Sumerians, all of them. Like, this is
Mm-hmm.
about going back to our roots and
Mm-hmm.
righting the wrongs completely
Yeah.
and walking forward with a firm foundation that's built upon true knowledge, not bullshit.
Not bullshit. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
sick of the
I get
bullshit.
worried off and on, Kelly, that our country lies so much with the bullshit that it's like they're gonna get caught up one day or another. And what do we all got to pay for that? Do you know what I mean? So it makes me worried. Oh, they're gonna shoot the nuke off because they got caught up in their bullshit.
The
It's just
aliens would
it's
never
so
let that happen.
yeah, exactly. That's another
They
thing.
won't.
And then you got Russia over there. They're teaching how in their schools how Hitler manufactured UFOs, and but United States is still like in denial. It's like,
Yeah.
come on, man.
Actually, a
You
little bit of
know.
that. This first dump of UFO files that just got disclosed at war.gov
Mhm.
actually
Okay.
shows that um, Germany and a couple of other countries already had UFO technology.
Going on, and yeah, because they
Hmm.
weren't hiding it so much. I think as United States. United States, I think, just hides everything to the point, and it's like, oh, come on, man. Let's just be
Yeah.
truthful. You know,
Well, I think it was.
we all deserve it. We all deserve the truth. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I
I
think so.
agree, 100%. And from who my dad was and what he did for a living, I know for a fact that it's not the whole government. It's not even the government body that we think it is. It's
Hmm.
actually a small faction of the CIA that went rogue, and it
Hmm.
went rogue at the time that Hoover was in charge.
Okay.
And I know
Hmm.
this for a fact because my dad told me to remember Hoover.
Hmm.
That's
Hmm.
where it started. And that's why in my opinion, that's why they killed JFK, because he was
Hmm.
going to release the UFO files and they didn't want people to know
Yeah, they
the
don't want
truth.
people to know.
They
Hmm.
didn't want him to know the truth. And the reason that
Hmm.
this truth was so quote unquote dangerous to them is because that's part of our creation story, these beings that come to our planet. This is what's in my book, The Custodians. I explain this, how the Pleiadians and other beings are actually our creator beings.
Hmm.
And that doesn't negate Jesus. That doesn't negate what we've been taught, that, the Adam and Eve story and all of that, because Jesus's own writings literally show that Adam and Eve were a different type of human that were created by these beings.
Hmm.
And so, and that's where our bloodline and our lineage
Hmm.
derives from. That's ground zero of this
Hmm.
bloodline that I speak of. We
Hmm.
are the people that came from Adam and Eve's bloodline, and not
Hmm.
all people do. And that's why the out of Africa story doesn't fit the
Yeah,
narrative.
that's
When
okay.
they find all of these remains and these fossils and mummies and different things in different locations, they're like, wait a minute, how the hell did this get way the hell over here?
Right. Yeah.
You know, that doesn't fit. So we'll just take it to the
Hmm.
Smithsonian and hide it
They hide
and
it. Got
not
out the
talk about that.
history. Yeah, let's not
It
know
doesn't fit
anybody
our
about
little
real
box.
history.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I hate they do that. I mean, I guess they maybe they do it to keep people more feeling okay, not so paranoid. I don't
It's
know.
control. It's all about
Yeah,
control. And again, it goes back to Rome because it's all about the church and the domination that they wanted over the people, right?
yeah.
Because church and state were one in those
Hmm.
days. The king is literally who decided what's in our Bible. And it says that on the front of your book. It says King
Yeah,
James Bible.
yeah.
A
Yep.
king decided what you would know as your religious truths.
Yep.
And they cherry
Mhm.
picked it at the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD. That's where it started. They cherry picked it, and the rest of it got hidden or burned. And the
Yeah.
Templars are the ones that hid it, and now they're the ones that people want to vilify, right?
Yeah.
Templars are evil. Freemasons are evil. No, they're not. They're the ones that were
Mm.
trying to keep this writing sacredly safe until the
Yeah.
right people were here that could embrace
Mhm.
it and believe it again.
Yep.
The
Mhm.
church was murdering the Templars. The church
Mhm.
murdered Jesus.
Mhm. Oh yeah, they were murdering people back in the day if you didn't believe in their religion.
That's my
So it's like,
point.
oh,
That's why they murdered all of them.
uh-huh.
The Templars,
Witches, anybody that could do any spells, any healings,
yeah,
anything like that, let's get rid of it. Skulls, get rid of it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's like, oh my gosh, why can't we just know our actual history? I
we're
don't give a
going
shit.
to. W-
I don't give a
We
shit
will.
if God does not look like us, I don't care.
Mm.
Just let me know. You know what I mean? I
But
don't,
that's the thing,
it
they do look
is what
like
it
us.
is. Mm-hmm.
And it says
Mm-hmm.
so in the Bible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It says they
Mm-hmm.
made us in their image. And they
In
did.
their image. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
walk among us and you don't even know
Mm-hmm.
that it's
Mm-hmm.
them, you know?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
Of course, you can say the same thing about the reptilians because they can look like a human, but they're not really a human.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
they're
Mm-hmm.
reptilian, you know. They're like their true form is reptilian. Our creator's
Oh
true form
yeah.
is not. Our
Mm-hmm.
creator's true
Mm-hmm.
form is very human looking.
I've
Um,
seen a lot of crazy stuff in the cemetery. I'll tell you that. Henry, the military child that I was telling you about,
yeah.
he's got so many photos, Kelly, of in the cemetery of porthole looking things with orbs and creatures coming out where you can see. I'm like, oh my
There's
god.
portals all over our planet.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Some of them are
definitely.
negative magnetic portals, and
Mhm.
some of them are positive magnetic
Gotcha.
portals. So
Hmm.
that means that some of them can open and only things come in, right?
Gotcha.
And
Hmm.
others can open and people or things can come in and out. It's a
Yeah,
two-way
and
street.
out. It's a
Yeah.
two-way. Yeah, you're
Yep.
right.
And you
Hmm.
can accidentally walk into a portal. That's how some people go missing, like in state forests and stuff. And they want to blame it on Bigfoot and shit. But it's a portal. They've walked
Hmm.
into a damn portal.
Oh yeah, they do it all the time around me. They open the portholes. You can see them. I got tons of pictures of them. I'm
Yeah.
about to release a thing on it. Um, but when they do that and it looks all funny like that, I don't walk. I don't go no further.
Yeah,
I stay
don't you
exactly
don't
where I'm at.
yeah, you don't want to.
And
I
because one misstep and who knows, you know what I mean? You could be in it and it's over. You
yeah,
might
I
not be able to
tackled
come.
my brother once like a quarterback to keep him from getting inside of a portal when it opened up because he was running toward it to jump and see what it would do. And I'm like,
Oh,
"No, dude, you ain't going." And I
yeah,
literally
dude.
I literally chased him down and tackled him like I was a quarterback. I wasn't letting him
Shit.
get in it. But
Shit.
Emery Smith, do you know who Emery Smith is?
Oh yeah, I talk to him off and on. Me and him are
He
friends, and we talk off and on. I'm trying to get him to do an interview, but he got married, and so now he's like, I'm real busy all the time, but I will. And I'm like,
oh
come on, I
man.
want you to do an interview about the Bigfoot.
Yeah, I would love to talk to him
Mhm,
about his portals and
mhm.
stuff, but he
Oh God, Kelly,
he was
he
just
runs me and
he
him. We've talked on the phone for 2 and 3 hours, and he'll fill me in with everything that I just ask him tons of questions, and
yeah,
he's worked on hundreds of different aliens
I
and
know.
creatures, and he says that over 300 of them he found that has our DNA in it.
Yeah. Because
So
the
we
because
have
our
their DNA,
creators because our
you know.
creators have seeded other planets too. We're not the
Oh
only
yeah.
planet they did this to.
Mhm. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Hmm.
he was just on the Journey to Truth podcast.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
literally just watched this earlier today.
Okay.
And he was talking about the portals and how they open up all over the planet and people sometimes accidentally walk into them and get lost. And
Oh
it's
yeah,
hard
they're
to find your
gone.
way back, you know?
Yep, I think that happens in the national forest a lot as
I
well.
do too. I do too. And I
Mhm.
always have. And I'm so that's my point. I was really glad to hear him like saying that to the public because he's
Mhm.
someone that people listen to, you know,
Yeah.
and that
Mhm.
gains a lot of attention, a lot of viewers. So I was really
Yeah.
glad to hear him say that. because people
Nice.
really do need to be careful about where we walk and what we're doing on planet
Mm-hmm.
Earth. And me being
Mm-hmm.
a grid worker, like I know their locations and I know how to locate one if I'm in the area. Like I will sense it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll know that
Yep.
it's near because I know that
Mm-hmm.
energy signature. And
Gotcha.
so that's something I would really love to teach to people so that they can be safer when they're out
Mm-hmm.
scouting about and walking around because it
Sometimes
is
when
a
they
real
open the
thing.
port, sometimes I'll see the portholes and they'll come like almost like it's like a cloudy, almost like a watery effect look.
Yeah, yeah, like that shimmer that comes off
Sometimes,
the
yeah,
road.
sometimes I see that, and then all of a sudden, this is wicked. All of a sudden, I will see like it looks like castle bricks, and it's a looks like a building, like a brick building, and it just goes on both ways for as far as I can see, and there will be a door in it, perfect. And I'm like, oh my! I took pictures of it. I'm about to release that shit, do a little video and release them.
Yeah,
Um, I'm just like,
that's
and I think,
amazing.
man, should I walk up there? But I see beings. So I see it. There's a being standing by the door, and then there's like four invisible beings, partway invisible, in between me and that door. And I thought, I ain't trying that. You know what I mean? Not with kids. I'm like,
Yeah, right,
no. Otherwise, hey, I'm out of here. Fuck this place. You know what I'm saying? You know
right.
what I mean? Take a chance, I guess. But I'm just like, who knows what you walk through there? And the funny thing about it, Kelly, is out here, it'll be all chemtrail looking, cloudy, and just chemtrail, no sun at all. But when you look through that door, it looks
It's
all
bright.
sunny and tropical.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm like, weird,
Yep.
fucking weird.
Yeah.
Mm.
I've never seen that kind that looks like a building, but yeah, I've seen the kind that
Oh
looks
yeah,
shimmery,
I'll
like that
send you some
shimmer.
photos. I'm gonna
Okay.
put it together, but I'll send you some photos. I got a lot of portholes
Yeah,
on
yeah. That would be cool.
camera. And like, ooh, they open them up a lot. I don't know if I assume the creatures come through
Well,
them maybe, and that's how they appear sometimes. I don't know because there's
yeah.
always a lot of portholes around me, and I'm like,
Some
man,
some they can definitely operate like that, and then other portals on Earth are natural portals to the
mm-hmm,
Earth, and they open up from different solar activity, right?
yeah,
I
mm-hmm,
actually got a
mm-hmm,
download about this just the other night that the electromagnetic energy is what governs the portal,
mm-hmm,
and it also governs the space-time continuum, which means
yeah,
dimensions, right?
yeah,
So
mm-hmm,
when the electromagnetic frequency is at the right frequency, like 1.6 hertz, for example, you can
mm-hmm,
open a portal.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
I
Because
noticed about the
because
Earth
you're
too.
altering space and
Yeah,
time. You're
something funny about the
altering
Earth. Every time around Halloween time, it's like there is so much shit going down. I'm
because
constantly
our
seeing
frequency
portals, constantly
changes.
seeing creatures. It's like the Earth is maybe turned itself
It's
a
in
certain
the
way where it's
mhm,
the energy.
yep.
Something's going on. I'm like,
It
wow.
our frequency has changed at that point in the year from
Okay.
we say October 31st, but technically it's around November 1st,
Okay.
right?
Hmm.
To May 1st.
Yep. Hmm.
Our portal is
Big
more
time
for our
activity.
energy, excuse me, the energy is vibrating differently, so it allows those dimensions to bleed through. Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time,
Yeah.
man. Last year I had them looking in my window, all kinds of crazy
Mhm.
shit going down. I'm like, and that
Yep.
was right around that Halloween time, man. I'm like, oh my God. It was
Mm.
just big time. I'm like, what's going on? And I asked Emerald about that as well. And he told me that same thing, how you did, how it's a certain time of the year where it's,
Yeah.
he explained it like you kind of. And I'm like, wow, man, just
Yeah.
amazing.
Do you know where we got the idea to dress up for Halloween?
Hmm. Mm-mm.
So it
Mm.
was
I, I,
actually
I actually I seen a document, Kelly, and it was supposed to be an old document, and it was about Halloween, and it was another country, and on Halloween, all the families would bake something, and they would just give away bakings to each other and stuff like that. And they said the next thing you know, other people got their hands and changed to costumes, to this, to that, and I'm like, okay, so I don't know. you
Well, the
know?
baking was always part of it because part of it is the celebration of the harvest, right?
Okay. Hmm.
So you're baking things, you're feeding people, you're celebrating the harvest.
Makes sense. You're celebrating the harvest. Hmm.
But also because the veil is thinner and things can come through the portal, people would
Okay.
wear costumes to disguise themselves so that the things coming through the portal would not think that there's some human that they could use as loosh,
Ah,
right? So it was
mm-hmm.
like their self-defense from the psychic vampire energy being drawn toward them.
You know what I figured out this like within a couple months ago is as soon as the snow started going away and I started going out into the woods again. So we had that one that was in the backyard, and every time you go in that part of the backyard, you would get like you're gonna faint, like you'd feel fucked
Oh,
up. Like,
yeah. The energy was different there.
what's wrong with me? You know what I mean? I need to go in the house and lay down. And I'm
Mhm.
like, wow. Well, so I thought, okay, and it was happening to me every time I went in that part of the yard behind me. And I'm like, what the hell? But the other part, it wasn't doing it. So I
Mhm.
started to put two and two together, and I was like, huh. Well, one day I wore black sweatpants and a black shirt outside to go cut the grass. And I went outside and nothing happened over there. And I thought, what the fuck? So I thought about it for a little bit and I tried it about four other times. And so when I was going over here and the one was in the tree with the babies, obviously maybe it was putting off some kind of thing because
Mhm.
of, me. But when
Mhm.
I wore black, it wasn't doing it. And
Mhm.
I'm like, what the fuck? So now when I go in the yard over there, I'll wear all black and nothing happens. But other than that, I'd feel that fucked up like I'm gonna
Yeah.
faint or something. And I never had that happen to me before. So maybe it was a protection thing over the little ones that were in the tree.
Mhm. I'm sure it
I
was,
don't
yeah.
know.
It was a defense mechanism. Yeah.
Hey man,
Putting their
I mean,
sonar pulse out at you,
hmm
keep you back. Yeah.
and I've heard people, say stuff before about being sick, thought they got shot by a laser or something,
Mhm.
and I'm like,
Yep.
what, man? I'm like, that never happened to me. And then
Yeah.
just that couple months ago, it did in the back. I'm like,
Yeah, because if
we're
they don't
butted.
want you around, they'll make you feel disoriented and dizzy and nauseous and stuff out in the woods,
Yeah, we're
different places.
butted all up against natural forest, all on one side of the
Yeah.
across the street,
Nice.
and yeah, it just goes forest forever. And I'm on the edge of town. I'm on the last
Yep.
street, butted up against the forest. So it's
Nice.
like, you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
I go back in the forest all the time, walking around, right, from my
Mhm.
house. So it's like, oh, cool, but sometimes I think to myself, okay, but I don't know. As long as I'm not being harmed, I'm happy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
There's a lot of people that believe that, Bigfoot are extraterrestrial,
Mhm.
and I
Mhm.
actually, with my own eyes, have seen evidence that proves that to be true.
Mhm.
Um
Oh, I was out and had an encounter one day, and I look over, and it was what everybody calls Bigfoot,
Mhm.
and it was carrying an alien, and I took pictures of it. I should say I'm probably never sent it to you. I'll send
Uh-uh.
that to you, and you got to stare at it and look at it, and you can see his arms are holding the alien like this,
Oh,
like he's
wow.
carrying it. I'm like, what the fuck? And you can tell it's an alien.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh my God. So I
Wow.
try to tell people all the time because they don't put two and two together. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And when you start to know, like how you just said, and I took a picture of something like that, you know there's a
Yeah.
connection there. There's a
Yeah.
connection.
So
Hmm.
for me, I was always like I my first Bigfoot encounter, I was probably 8 years old, and then I
Hmm.
saw one 2 feet from me when I was 16. So
Hmm.
I know, like, they exist, they're real, and they look very human, very much
Hmm.
human.
Yeah. Hmm.
But then, other people, like when I was a MUFON investigator, people were like, "They disappear sometimes, and there's always these UFOs that show up when they're around." And I'm like,
Yep.
"What?" Because I'd never heard any of that, in my experiences. So I was always really on the fence about, are they interdimensional? Are they alien? Because my own personal view was that they're just some kind of human that the government doesn't want us to know still lives, still
Hmm.
exists. Maybe Neanderthal. I don't know. And so I was pretty adamant in my opinion on them until I was naively on the internet in the late 90s when, everybody was first getting home computers. And I was just like, you know what? If anybody would know if there's aliens coming to our planet, it would be the NSA. They would know,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I'm just going to go look on their website and see what they've got to say. Because here I am thinking you could just march right in there and find out anything you want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, lo and behold, I actually did. They had this thing called a vault that was in a circle, and all these pie shapes were a different vault that had labels on them, right? And this
Mm-hmm.
one vault label said known alien species. And I'm like, oh, Eureka, there it is. See, I knew that
Mm-hmm.
the NSA would know. So I
Oh
click on
yeah.
it,
Mm-hmm.
and I go in, and the first page, I didn't even look past the first page, but there were several pages. But the first page is a list known alien species, friend, foe, or neutral, where they come from, and subgroups, because a lot of them have a
Ah,
subgroup, right? Like
man.
the grays are not just one kind. There's like 12 kind of grays, right? So
Mm-hmm.
each gray had
Mm-hmm.
like a PR 45 or some shit like that. And I didn't even know what that meant, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a weird letter number sequence. And
Mm-hmm.
then I'm looking down the list. There's all kinds of reptilians. There's like 5 different types of reptilians, and then subcategories of them and planets that they come from. Some of them they consider terrestrial to Earth, even,
Mm-hmm.
right, that live underground or in swamps.
Mm-hmm.
And then and it says Bigfoot. And I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Bigfoot's on this fucking list.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no fucking way. So I was pissed because Bigfoot isn't a human. He
Yeah,
is
I
actually
got.
an extraterrestrial, but
Mm-hmm.
they also had another, what we would call a cryptid, or a made for movie type creature on that list. And it wasn't a werewolf, it was
Mm-hmm.
vampires.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Van-
yeah. I
Vampires
don't know,
are
man. I've
an
learned a
alien.
lot of crazy shit. I tell you that, and I've
I
seen a lot of
swear,
crazy
I
shit.
would swear on a stack of Bibles, I would swear on my life that vampires and Bigfoot was on their list of aliens. And I'm like, oh
Mm-hmm.
my God, that's crazy. Because
Mm-hmm.
vampires, I was always like,
A lot of
there
people
ain't no
claim
real vampires.
Bigfoot.
You know,
I did.
this shit
I
ain't
did an
real.
interview. Yeah, I did an interview with Henry and his
I thought you was gonna
grandfather.
I thought you was gonna
His
say I did an interview
grandfather.
with a vampire. I was like, that's a
No,
movie.
his grandfather removed. Supposedly, it was a vampire mausoleum. And
Really?
when he removed it, he didn't know it was a vampire mausoleum until 2 months after he found out that was the rumor.
Yeah.
Well, they have pictures of it.
There's
Henry
several of
does.
those.
And on the side of the mausoleum, you can see this creature coming the fuck out. And it's like, and you look at it and it's not creature, it looks human,
Mm-hmm.
like a human figure. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh my God. And I thought, what's better place to put a vampire in a cemetery? Because no one's in there at night. You know, they could come out and go and please as
Yeah.
they want or whatever. I thought, wow.
Yep.
So I don't know. I learned a lot about it to where I believe it kind of exists, man. You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
like, it's heavy shit, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know where they come from. I don't know why they're here. They're not your
Mhm.
traditional, they don't like bite you and suck your blood the way that the movies portray them.
Yeah, no, it's different.
But yeah, it's totally different. But still,
Train your energy. I
yeah,
heard
yeah.
from people and
Right.
like, oh fuck, man, you know, and you could feed off some energy.
Oh,
So that's another thing.
you feed off of all
So
energy. We all do.
I watched a guy and he went without eating for I think it was 60 days. Perfectly the same, didn't look
Hmm.
no different, didn't know no skinny. They were monitoring him the whole time, and
Yep.
he claims he fed off the trees. He goes over and touches the trees and he
Fed off
sucks
of the
energy
energy of
out.
the tree. Now let me
I
tell
don't
you,
know. It works, and
listen,
I believe it. I believe it.
listen. I'm gonna prove it right now that we all read energy and we all eat energy up. We consume it.
Mm-hmm.
You walk into a room. Well, you said this about me even at the beginning of the show.
Mm-hmm.
When you are done talking to me, you always feel really good, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
because
Mhm.
you just fed off of that energy. You
That
consumed
that
it.
energy, I took some of that energy from you. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
I don't mean to.
no,
I
no, no,
don't mean
no,
to.
no. It's not a harmful
I
thing at
know.
all, right?
Hmm.
It's a beautiful exchange of energy, right? But
Hmm.
we nurture each other, we feed each other with that
Hmm.
energy, or
Hmm.
we can poison each other with
Yeah.
toxic energy,
Yep.
right? You
Yep.
can talk to
Yep.
somebody like you were saying, it's somebody really negative, and man, you walk away from them and you're just like, oh, I feel so
Feel like
drained and
shit.
tired and
Yeah. Like it
shitty, and
wears right out in you. You took
yeah,
some of
yeah,
that
yeah.
negative energy.
Because that
Oh.
happens all the time, and we don't have to be a vampire to make that shit happen because
Mm-mm.
we are energetic beings. So
Yep.
we're constantly transmitting, constantly receiving, whether we know
Mm-hmm.
it or not. We're
Yep.
constantly creating our own life, whether we know it
Mm.
or not. And
Yep.
that's part of what I want to teach people is how to know it so that they don't fuck shit up.
Yeah. Change your life, everybody.
Yeah,
That's what we need. We
yeah,
do. We need to change your life. We need to get rid of all that negative bullshit in the world and just make positive. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's like,
I mean,
oh,
it's hard to go through life and not feel some type of negativity at some point.
yeah.
So this isn't
Hmm.
about hopium that's not
Yeah.
truly attainable. The way
Yeah.
that I teach people, it really does show you how to notice when you're feeling that funk come on and to check yourself before
Hmm.
you wreck yourself, right?
Because you're bad for your health,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, right. You're about to mess up your shit. Like,
Oh,
get it back in check
no.
so you don't mess something up,
Mhm.
you know?
Well, Kelly, we got to definitely do another show together. We should
I
do a
would love
live
to.
one night.
Hey, that would be
Yeah, let's
fun.
do a live one night.
Let's do
Hmm.
it.
Yeah, we should do it live, and we should do it about what we were just talking about, man, about the
Right on.
energy flows and that.
Right
I
on.
mean, because that's you know what I mean, or something. You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
care what we
I
talk
don't
about.
know.
You let me know when. I'm game.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. So tell everybody where they can find you at, Kelly.
Okay, so on Facebook, I am Kelly Smith. Um, you can find me just that way, or um, you can also go to my group called Earthsong Lovecraft School of Thought. Well, excuse me, that's my page, but there's a group link to it that you can also go to. But they both have the exact same things in each of them. And then I also have an alien abduction support group by that name on
I like
Facebook.
that. I think that is awesome,
Yep,
Kelly, because
you're in that.
people that have been abducted can turn to you.
Yep.
And if you talk to Kelly, you will trust her. You will feel comfortable. I know that for a fact by talking to you myself. So I really believe that you can make people feel better, and you're not, making fun of them. You're not
Yeah.
you're actually caring for them, and that is awesome.
Yeah, everybody's experience is treated with the utmost respect, and I demand that of everybody in my group. And I have an amazing group of people. We have over 2,000 members, and they're
Wow, nice.
incredibly compassionate and safe to share your story with. Everyone there is really just lovely. We've weeded out the ugly people, and it's nothing but support there. It's truly
Good
what I created it to be. It's a support group.
deal. Nice.
You know,
Wonderful.
everybody there is so great. And then also you can find me on YouTube, Deja Brew at Beacon News 777. Beacon, like I'm the beacon that leads you home, because
Yeah, alien beacon.
that's my it's an alien beacon,
Beacon.
it's a lighthouse,
Mhm.
it's all of the
Mhm.
beacons. And literally my Native American elders gave me my name Earthsong, and the
Nice.
phrase that I would be the beacon that leads people home to self, because we are who we've been waiting for. So this was
Nice.
given to me
Love it.
through my lineage. Um, and I'm so grateful for the work that I am able to offer to people and all of the people that I meet. I mean, I'm international at this point, with my psychic medium work, the medical intuitive work, and all of it. And if anybody wants further education or help healing or a psychic reading, they can find me on my website at www.earthsonglovecraft.com. And I'm very easy to access, regardless of whether it's my YouTube or my Facebook groups or the website. I always reply to everyone just as soon as I can. and I don't ever leave anybody hanging.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Hmm. And on your website, does it tell everybody where they can get your books at?
So my books are for sale in the store, in the shop,
Okay.
on the
Okay.
website. Yeah. And you
Okay.
can get them in
Nice.
digital format or you can get them in a hard copy. So
Nice.
2 different
All right.
prices. You know, for some people don't want the actual book. So if they want to read the PDF, they're there also as a
Nice.
downloadable purchase file
Hmm.
for a lower
Nice.
price. And then if you want the book, those are print on demand. So it takes about 3 weeks to get them because I don't go through Amazon or things like that because they take 80% of your profit. And
Yeah.
I'm not going to let them take my intellectual property and have a capital gain off of it. I'm a Gen
Yeah.
Xer and I don't feel like that's right. So
No.
I
Hmm.
self-published.
Hmm.
They all have an official copyright, an official ISBN number. They are mine
Nice.
and I own all the rights to them and they're sold through my website at
Perfect.
cost so that everybody can just have them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, thanks, sweetie, for coming on, and let's definitely get together and do another show. We'll do a live or something.
Yeah.
Try
I
and
would
get the
love to
word
do a
out.
live. That would be fun.
Awesome. Definitely. So I'll contact you in a few days. We'll make a plan.
All right. Cool. Sounds like a
Now,
plan.
that's why I can schedule with you because you're a busy
I
person.
am.
You know
Most of
what I
my
mean?
nights are free though. So,
Okay.
a lot
All
of this
right.
kind of stuff I do at night and it's pretty much all
Okay.
open.
All right. Cool.
So
All
yeah.
right. So if I start hitting you up, Kelly, come on, want to come over here and do a show?
Yeah,
Let's do
yeah.
it. Or want to do a show? Come
No
on.
problem. Yeah. I've
All
been
right.
doing a lot
Cool.
of interviews and a lot of different videos with people lately. And yesterday I did one with SNX Radio, Sub Nation Radio, and
Nice.
then tonight with you, and then Friday I'm doing one with Augie Nost, and
Okay.
I'm looking forward to that. I've had him on my show a couple of times. I'm going to have him back on my show
Cool.
Friday, and then shortly after that I'm going to be on his show with him. So I'm really
Hmm.
excited about that. I have a
Nice.
couple of other really big interviews lined up in the future, so I'm really excited
Cool.
about those too. Yeah,
Nice. Definitely.
yeah.
Awesome, Kelly. So don't hang up. Well, I guess you can hang up because I'll just contact you in a couple days. I wanted to tell you that I'll contact you in a few days. We'll make a plan to hit another
Okay.
show.
I mean,
So
either
it'll be
or
awesome.
doesn't matter to me.
All right.
We can set it up now. We
So
can set it up later. I don't care.
yeah, you're right. All right, everybody. Good night. And definitely don't forget to go over and check out Kelly's website, guys. If you
Yeah.
go over there, that website's going to lead you everywhere to get the books. And it's going to tell you her, if she's teaching any classes, to where you guys can sign up for one of her classes, and go to her YouTube. Definitely, guys. Definitely
Yeah.
go to her YouTube and watch some good shows. I'm going to go over and watch that Sunday show she was telling me about.
I just sent you the
So,
link for that actually so that you can
okay,
see.
cool. I
Yeah,
hadn't forgot. I'm like, I'm going to check this out.
yeah.
Awesome. All right, Kelly. Good night.
You know,
I'll talk to you soon.
okay.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.